So I'm going to be teaching a lesson to Brigham, and I am going to be covering the different states of matter and how focus specifically on water, going from a solid to a liquid. And I'm also going to be talking about freezing point depression. And in order to teach those concepts, I'm going to be making homemade ice cream in a Ziploc bag with Brigham. So I can imagine that there will be some state anxiety that he has, given that we have never met before, and his state anxiety may not be extreme because he has done this with so many other people before, but there still may be some. For physical arrangement, I'm going to have Brigham and I sitting on the floor across from each other, kind of like crisscross-legged, because I feel like he might be more comfortable with that. I'll look for cueing to see if he is comfortable with that, and if not, we can move to a table across from each other or a table side by side. It'll just be dependent on the cueing that he gives me. For the different levels of Bloom's taxonomy, they'll be asking different questions that fall under each category. For example, for knowledge, I'll be asking about freezing point of water, and this may or may not be in his schema yet, and so I will be either reviewing that or introducing it to him. Then for comprehension, I might ask which would freeze faster, a lake or the ocean, or like the salt lake, just salt water, regular water. For application, I will be asking him what happens when salt is put on the ice, like on icy sidewalks. For analysis, I'll be asking why do we mix salt with ice to freeze ice cream. And for synthesis, I will ask him how he would improve the process. I'll ask that as a review or follow-up question. A prototype that will be in the lesson is the ice on sidewalks. That's something that should be in his schema, being in Rexburg. They put ice on sidewalks mostly everywhere. As far as concept attainment goes, we will be making the ice cream, which in itself will be concept attainment. In regards to the zone of proximal development, I'm going to be giving Brigham instructions and allowing him to follow it and make the ice cream himself. But if he is struggling, I'll provide scaffolding, but I won't do it for him and cause him to have learned helplessness. In regards to teaching the states of matter and helping him retain the information, we'll be using a mnemonic device, which is the acronym, or which is Sally Loves Gum, for the different states of matter. As far as physical climate goes, we'll be indoors, so it'll be warm, but I have asked him to bring winter gloves because the bag gets really cold when you're making the ice cream, and I don't want his hands to freeze. I will be bringing an extra pair of gloves in case he forgets to bring his gloves. Along with the science of the lesson, there will be the culinary side, where we can discuss measurements and how you measure things and different ways to measure and the correct ways to measure. For example, you measure liquids and solids differently. The overall stimulus of this lesson is going to be the reward in the end, which is the ice cream, which most kids and people love ice cream, so I'm really hoping Brigham does. And as far as psychomotor domain goes, he will be physically shaking the bag and making the ice cream, which